Hello everybody, thanks for spending some time on my channel. Now, if you have watched some of my other unboxing videos, you should know by now that I am what could be called, in all honesty, an Ecuagenera addict. So yes, here we are again with yet another box of new houseplants. And just for fun, I put these baby monsteras growing in perlite on top of the box. So let's find out together what's inside the box. So this time around I ordered 7 houseplants, and I can already tell you now that at the end of the video I will show you all these plants after I have potted them up in soil. So let's start with the first plant. And the first newcomer is the Philodendron Oligospermum Ecuagenera, for which I paid $22. Now, I have no idea who comes up with all those weird philodendron names, and Oligospermum must be one of the craziest plant names out there. It's almost like calling your newborn kid Satan or something. But anyway, Oligospermum is actually Greek and it means small seeds. Now, since philodendrons normally don't flower inside our houses, I will probably never find out whether the seeds of this plant are indeed small or not, so let's just believe that it's true. Now, when I look at this specimen, I would say that it's in pretty good shape overall. You might have seen that a couple of the bottom leaves are yellowing, so I will lose them for sure, but there are enough healthy green leaves left over to help this climbing philodendron survive. And by the way, this is an accepted philodendron species and it's native to Colombia and Ecuador. Okay, let's have a look now at the second plant, which is the Philodendron Luxurians, for which I paid $37. Now, there's 2 big leaves on the plant that look okay, no visible major damage on them, and obviously it's these beautiful and almost psychedelic leaves that make this such a popular houseplant. Now, you might think that there is a small rhinoceros with a huge horn that's hiding below the leaves, but no worries, that's just the plant making a new leaf. Now, the fact that this embryo leaf is totally undamaged after being shipped from Ecuador to Belgium just shows that Ecuagenera does indeed master the art of packing houseplants to give them the best chance to arrive at our place without too much damage. So I would say good job, Ecuagenera. And by the way, these big leaves you only get with high humidity, so I might put this plant close to my humidifier. Okay, let's have a look now at the third plant. And the third plant is the Philodendron Esmeraldense goat. That cost me $24. Now, there's quite a few leaves on this plant. One is yellowing, but that's okay, and it's actually quite a big specimen that they sent me. And I think I will have to give this plant a stick or moss ball pretty soon, otherwise it might fall or even snap. Now, the leaves of the original Esmeraldense can become very long, but I think that this subspecies, called goat, might have somewhat shorter leaves. Anyway, the future will tell. Now, this philodendron is native to Ecuador and should be quite easy care as long as you don't put it in any direct sunlight and as long as you don't overwater it. So overall, I'm quite happy with this healthy and big specimen. Alright, now let's have a look at the fourth plant. And you might be surprised since it's not a philodendron for once, but an Anthurium, more specifically the Anthurium Friedrichstal. Now, I think that this is the very first Anthurium that I have ever ordered at Ecuagenera. And now that I see it for real, I think it's really gorgeous. It reminds me a bit of the Philodendron undulatum, which is one of my favorite philodendrons, because it has the same very long strapped leaves that I really like. Now, I only paid $15 for this plant since I told myself that as somebody without any Anthurium experience, it might be better to start with a very cheap one in case things go wrong. Now, about the name of this plant, it's a bit of a mystery to me, since Friedrichstal is actually a city in Germany, and I doubt that this Anthurium grows in the wild around this German city. So if you know where the name might come from, please let me know. Okay, now let's unpack plant number 5, which is the Philodendron Majesty, for which I paid $42. Now, lately I have become more and more intrigued by all these very dark colored philodendrons, and this here is a perfect example of that. I mean, literally everything on this plant is dark. The leaves, the stem, the petioles, and even the aerial roots, as you can see. And this time I have to say that the name perfectly suits this plant. I think it's just a very majestic philodendron. Now, this is once again a climbing philodendron, and with these very dark leaves, I guess that bright indirect light should be more than enough for this plant to thrive. Now, I'm also very happy with this plant since it's actually very rarely available where I live, which is in Brussels, Belgium. So I'm quite happy that Ecuagenera had it in stock for a reasonable price. Now let's talk a bit about plant number 6, which is the Philodendron Juvenile, also known as the El Choco Red. Now this here is a medium-sized plant for which I paid $25, which is a good deal in my opinion. Now the first thing that I notice is that this plant survived the shipping without any damage. You can see that the 3 big leaves are in perfect shape, and at the bottom of the plant there is a small growing point that's also perfectly intact. But of course, you might know that the real party with this plant is happening at the back of the leaves. So here you can see this beautiful spectacle of red, brown and burgundy colors together with all the veins that run through the leaves. I think Mother Nature did a pretty good job on this plant, although it would have been even better if those colors were on the top side of the leaves, but I guess we can't have it all. Now we have one more plant left to unbox, and plant number 7 is the Philodendron McDowell CF, for which I paid $49, which makes it, I think, the most expensive plant of today's batch. Now, mind you, it's a CF plant, meaning that it's very close to the original McDowell, but not sure that it's identical or not. Now, I talked in other videos already about the great CF and SP plants that Ecuagenera has to offer, and now that I see this one, I think this one is no exception. I mean, look at those gorgeous leaves, especially when the sun shines on them, like is the case here right now. This specimen has 4 healthy leaves. There is also a new leaf unfurling, but it looks a bit torn and trashed, but I hope that it will make it anyway. Now, in the beginning of this video, I promised you I would show you all 7 plants after I potted them up. So here you go. Here are the 7 plants that I showed you before in the video. I potted them up immediately the same day when they arrived at my place. And I have other videos that you can watch and in which I discuss why I do this. I don't really believe in pampering, cutting roots, putting them first in water, etc. I just pot them up immediately, and in 99% of the cases this works just perfectly. As you might notice, I mainly use plastic pots so I can keep an eye on what's going on in the soil. I also use an aroid mix with cocoa coir, perlite, charcoal, wood chips, small rocks and also worm castings as a fertilizer. Obviously these plants will have to settle in for the next couple of weeks, And in a couple of months I will make an update video to show you how these guys are doing in my apartment. Alright, I guess that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked it, please consider liking it and subscribing to my channel, where you can find many other unboxing videos from Ecuagenera, but also from other growers. Once again, thank you very much for watching. I wish you a very nice day and hope to see you soon. Bye bye.